Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm so happy to post the first part of the series. Music and stuff can be found in the description under the video. Have fun. Yahoo! I have something to ask. Hello. Why are you all so mean? You are being annoying. Hello Ken-chan. Oh god, please don't. Oikawa, you should really stop adding a chan to everyone's name. But it sounds cute, have a chan. Maybe in your imagination. Anyways, why did you text? Yeah right, what's the matter? Since you asked. I'm bored. That's the reason why you're texting at Saturday 11 p.m. Yeah, not. Right? I was napping with Kageyama, just look how cute he is. Tangerine sent an attachment. Oh, how peaceful he looks. Tobio-chan has grown into a man. Don't cry, Oikawa. Yeah, you're an ugly crier. And IOOP. Maki-chan mean. You don't. Keep that for your IWA-chan. Anyways 2.0. Right. I thought we could go on a trip together. Wait a minute. What do you mean by a trip? Yeah right. I thought we could rent an apartment or something and stay there from Monday up to Sunday week. We haven't done anything together for such a long time. Yeah, you're right. Indeed. We were all busy with our relationships. Sue. Who's in? Me. Why not? I'm also in. Ugh. Peer pressure. Okay. Of course. Sounds like fun. Alright. Fine. Me too. Bokuto-san is gonna cry. But I want to do something with you guys, so I'm gonna deal with him. Just because Shoyo and Akashi are going. Suna. Please. Ugh. Fine. Yay. Since everyone has agreed, I thought about renting a large apartment in a different city or something. How about Kyoto? Oh my god, I've heard about that. It should be really beautiful there. I saw some pictures of the city and it's in fact beautiful. Akashi agreeing. So that's our city? They all agreeing. Good. I'm booking the apartment, so pack your stuff and don't forget to tell your boyfriends. Where are we gonna meet? I think at the train station at 8 a.m. Okay. Everyone went offline. Suga was really looking forward to their trip. Oikawa was right, they haven't done anything for a while now and the trip was the perfect opportunity. He got up quickly and ran down the stairs into the living room where Daichi was sitting on the couch and watching TV. Suga stopped at the doorway and smiled when he saw Daichi in a fluffy blanket. Suga's soft tone caught Daichi's attention. Yes, darling. He looked up from the TV and turned his head to Suga so he could look at him. I'm going on a trip with the others. Really? He sat up straight and turned off the TV so he could properly concentrate on the conversation. Suga walked to the couch and sat next to him. Yeah, Oikawa asked us if we wanted to. Oh, that's cool. You haven't done anything together for a while now, have you? Yep. That's why we're going on a trip. Suga flashed him a grin and Daichi smiled at him with a soft look in his eyes. I'm happy for you, darling. And for how many days are you gone? A week. He shuffled closer to Daichi and leaned his head on his shoulder. We will meet at the train station on Monday at 8 a.m. and take the train to Kyoto from there. Daichi started to play with his hair and the gray-haired man leaned closer to his touch. Daichi watching and constantly smiling. All right. Don't forget to pack your things properly, darling. I won't. Just a little longer. Suga relaxed into Daichi's touch and started to draw little circles at Daichi's palm. He liked to do it because Daichi's hands were so big and soft. Still smiling, Daichi closed his eyes and leaned his head on Suga's, both napping off. Iwa-chan. Oikawa called as he ran down the stairs to get into the kitchen. He and Iwaizumi have already talked about it, so he knew about their trip. He's still so happy that everyone agreed. That will be so much fun. Did they agree? Yes. He hugged him from the back and placed his chin on the latter's shoulder. He inhaled Iwaizumi's smell and closed his eyes for a moment. He loved his smell. It was a mix of Oikawa's favorite perfume and Iwaizumi. Perfect. Good. Before Iwaizumi started to cut the vegetables again, he turned his head to Oikawa and kissed his forehead. Oikawa smiled and blushed slightly. He tried to hide his face in Iwaizumi's shoulder to try and cool the heat in his cheeks. No efforts. Don't forget to pack your toothbrush, Shirikawa. Oikawa pouted and pursed his lips at the mention. It only happened once. He defended himself and pouted more. Iwaizumi snorted. Yeah. Mean. He unwrapped his arms around Iwaizumi and turned around to stomp up the stairs into their shared bedroom. He heard Iwaizumi chuckle and against his own will, a small smile appeared at his face. I love you. Oikawa just answered and slammed the door shut. Shirikawa. Oikawa chuckled when he heard footsteps on the stairs. Atsumu tossed his phone back on the couch and got up. Sakusa was upstairs, so he went up and opened the door to the office. His boyfriend was standing there, disinfecting the table and just looking gorgeous. When he felt two arms wrap around him, Sakusa instantly smiled and put the bottle back at the table to turn around. He wrapped his long arms around Atsumu and cracked a little smile. He gave him a kiss on the forehead and placed one of his hands at his hip while the other one was on his back drawing little circles. What is it, Atsumu? Am plannin' on goin' on a trip with Suna and the others. Oh yeah? Sakusa switched their positions so he could pick Atsumu up by his thighs and sat him on the table. Now that Atsumu was at the same height as Sakusa, he leaned down and nuzzled his nose into his neck. Hey. Sakusa let out a laugh through his nose and gave him another kiss, but on his lips. When and where are you going? Monday for a week to Kyoto. We're going to meet at the train station at 8 AM, so I guess ya need to drop me off. Atsumu smirked and wrapped his legs around his waist to pull him closer. I'm alright with that. He whispered between their lips and kissed him again. Atsumu wanted to continue, but Sakusa pulled back from the kiss and grinned slightly. Just don't call me and ask if I could come and pick you up. He joked and laughed when Atsumu tried to punch him but failed. Yeah, an asshole. But you love me. He purred against his ear and wrapped his arms around him again. Atsumu sighed and leaned his forehead against his chest. Yes. Yes, I love ya. The alarm that Suga set for himself rang loudly, waking him up. He sighed and yawned, rubbing his face. Too early. Suga. Yeah. He slowly sat up and turned off the alarm, before yawning one more time and finally standing up from the bed. Don't forget that you're going to drop me off. He stepped into the bathroom and heard a groan. Yes. He laughed because Daichi obviously forgot about his trip and stepped into the shower. The water was at first cold, but it quickly turned warm and he began to shower. After he finished his shower and put some clothes on, Daichi came in and started to brush his teeth. Morning, love. Morning tea, love. Suga laughed and gave him a kiss on his cheek and headed to the kitchen. I'm gonna make some quick breakfast. When he got to the kitchen, he went straight to the cupboard with the bowls and put two on the table. He rushed back to the kitchen and searched the cupboards for his and Daichi's favorite cereal, before grabbing 2 spoons and milk and sitting down at the table. Just then Daichi came down fully clothed and smiled when he saw Suga. Before he sat down, he took 2 glasses out of the cupboard, filled them with water and sat right next to Suga. He placed one of the glasses right in front of his bowl and the other one right in front of his own. "Thank you, darling." Daichi gave him a quick kiss and glanced at the clock on the kitchen counter. 7:30 a.m. "We need 10 minutes to drive to the train station, right?" Suga stopped with the spoon halfway to his mouth and nodded. "Yes. All right." He turned back to his bowl and started to eat. "Do you have everything?" "Yes." Suga called and grabbed his favorite book. He looked one more time around the room to check if he forgot something and closed the door behind him. He quickly ran down the stairs into the hallway where Daichi was already waiting for him at the door and put on his shoes. His bag was already carried by Daichi. When he was finished putting on his shoes, he grabbed his coat and jogged towards Daichi. "I'm ready." "Okay, then let's go." He grabbed his car keys and opened the door for Suga. "Ma lady." "Thank you, sir." He pretended to hold up his dress, laughed and curtsied before he walked through the door with a smile and headed towards the car. Daichi closed the door behind them and also jogged towards the car while unlocking it. They both got into the car and Suga immediately turned the radio on while Daichi put Suga's bag at the back seat. "Radio, and now Alec Benjamin with End of the Summer. Have fun," the moderator said in a happy voice, and the first notes of the song were played. "I love this song." He turned the radio louder and started to sing the lyrics. Daichi smiled and drove towards the train station. "Iwa-chan. Wake up already?" Iwaizumi groaned and turned his back to Oikawa. "It was too early." "Too early, Toru. Mean it. You promised you would drive me. Also, I have to be there first as it was my idea and I still have to buy the train tickets." Oikawa crossed his arms in front of his chest and started to pout. Iwaizumi, still with his back on him, could literally imagine the pout on his face, so he groaned one more time before standing up from their bed. He walked past the pouting Oikawa while giving him a kiss on the forehead and turning into the bathroom. "Can you make breakfast?" he asked while putting off his clothes and stepping into the shower. "I'm already finished," Oikawa called, and Iwaizumi smiled to himself and began to shower. "We're gonna be late, Shirikawa. Don't rush me, Iwa-chan. Or did you forget who had a hard time this morning waking up?" Iwaizumi rolled his eyes and sighed. He waited 5 more minutes before he started to yell again. "Oikawa, who spare your breath, Iwa-chan." Oikawa appeared around the corner and put his shoes on before grabbing his bag and heading towards the door. "Hurry up, Hajime. We're gonna be late." He gave him a quick kiss on the cheek and walked out through the door. Iwaizumi took a breath to calm himself down and to push the urge away to throw a volleyball against Oikawa's head. He looked one more time around the hallway to check if Oikawa hasn't forgot anything and rolled his eyes when he saw his keys laying on the counter. "Dumbass." He mumbled to himself and grabbed the keys along with his own before closing the door and jogging towards the car. "What took you so long? You dumbass." He threw his keys at him and Oikawa catched them through his setter skills. "You know I won't be home when you're back." They both got into the car and Oikawa gave him an innocent smile. "Sorry, I forgot, Iwa-chan." Iwaizumi looked at him and his face softened. He ruffled his hair and started the car. "Hey. My hair. That's what you get for being so forgetful." "Mean it." He ignored Oikawa's pouting and drove off to the train station. Atsumu woke up through noises beside him. He slowly sat up and saw Sakusa shuffling around their bedroom. A bit confused, he sat there and watched Sakusa standing in front of their closet and pulling out some clothes which he would wear later. "Mornin' Omi." Sakusa winced at Atsumu's sudden words and turned around. He made an apologetic face and smiled a bit. "Good morning, Tsumu. Sorry if I woke you up." Atsumu waved him off with his hand while standing up from the bed and stretching. He yawned. Fine." He went to Sakusa and reached out for his arm to look at his watch. A smile appeared at his face and he turned his gaze to Sakusa. "Perfect Timon as always, Omi Omi." Atsumu stood on his tiptoes and kissed his cheek. "Am gonna shower, so don't wait for me." He disappeared around the corner and stepped into their bathroom, totally ignoring the disappointed face that Sakusa made. After he finished his shower and brushed his teeth, he went down the stairs and walked into the living room where Sakusa was on the couch and watching TV. He sat next to him, Atsumu's gaze never leaving Sakusa. "What?" Sakusa turned his head to Atsumu and glared at him. Atsumu leaned forward and kissed him softly. Smiling, he broke away from the kiss and sat back. He smirked satisfied as he watched Sakusa's annoyed face disappear and be replaced by a slight twitch from the corner of his mouth. "I didn't forget to give ya your morning kiss, Omi. I just wanted to brush my teeth." Atsumu smiled brightly and Sakusa looked back at the TV. "It would be disgusting if you kissed me without brushing your teeth before." "Omi. Are ya finished? Give me a minute, I can't find my mask." "Your mask is here, ya dummy." Atsumu laughed and held up Sakusa's mask. "Thanks, babe." He took his mask and kissed Atsumu's cheek. Atsumu still wasn't used to Sakusa using pet names from time to time, so he couldn't hide the heat rising in his cheeks. Not fair." Sakusa snorted when he saw the redness of Atsumu's cheeks and opened the door, while grabbing his car keys. "Hurry up, you walking tomato. We don't have the whole day." "Mean Omi." Atsumu grabbed his bag which laid beside the door and walked out of the house. They were good in time, so he waited for Sakusa to close the door and walked with him to their car. The dark-haired man unlocked it and Atsumu opened the trunk to put his bag in it, while Sakusa opened the door and sat on the driver's seat. After stowing everything away, he jogged to the passenger seat and opened the door only to collapse into the car. "Let's go, Omi." Sakusa started the car and looked towards Atsumu. "Your seat belt." He pointed to the seat belt hanging loosely on Atsumu's right side. "Oh. You're right, Omi." He took the seat belt and buckled himself. The blonde-haired man looked up again with a smile, only to see that Sakusa's eyes were already on him. "Sorry, Omi. What would you do without me?" He shook his head and turned back to the steering wheel. Atsumu snorted. "Probably die." He leaned back into his seat and looked out of the car. It was pretty outside. There were flowers everywhere, beginning to bloom, illuminating the streets in all sorts of colors. He loved spring. "Then it's good that I'm always by your side." And with that Sakusa drove off, a smiling Atsumu right next to him. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked it. Love ya, bye.